Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. There you go. Get a good look. It's in there, and now some of it's in here. That was my first sip, don't you know? Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, the temperature literally dropped. I think we're at 12 degrees right now, and the wind is just blowing through here, and it is cold. I'll tell you, really, really cold. Anyhow, I'll tell you what's not so cold, guys, is this whole market right now. We're waiting on the FOMC meeting today, and a lot of people are expecting, of course, the market's probably got it already baked in, another 25% drop, but that isn't the big news about it. The big news about it is the quantitative tightening that they have been doing, as they say they've been doing, which is kind of like a misnomer because, look, even during this whole QT that they've been going on with, they have been printing like over $1 trillion every like 75 to 90 days, which is absolutely obscene. But this now, guys, they're ending it. They're dropping the rates. They're bringing cheap money into the market. And you are going to watch a lot of these equities. And of course, this digital asset space, in my opinion, they're going to pump it up there. Now, the thing is this. That is going to result in a massive, major inflationary, reaction to it. And, when you're dealing with that kind of inflation, the way these guys do it, it's like they put their hands in your pocket and they literally pulled out your cash by the fistfuls. They are destroying the purchasing power right in your dollars. Yep. And most people, guys, do not have money that they can throw at, commodities, getting gold, getting silver, getting into the market. Anything traded against the dollar, of course, appreciates in an inflationary environment like that. And most folks don't have the ability to do it. In fact, reading an article that as of, I think, November 1st, food stamps are going to end for, get this, 42 million Americans. Did you hear that? 42 million. Guys, that's like 15 to 20% of the population of the United States is on food stamps. Now, if that does not tell you how bad things really are in the real world, I don't know what does. And in fact, Judy was telling me she was reading an article there the other day that I think it was UPS or Amazon or either both just laid off something like 30 to 40,000 employees. Did you hear that? And do you know why they did it? Well, because they are not expecting to see in the latter part of the year during the Christmas season that a lot of actual shipping because folks are not out buying. Big, big, big. I mean, the markers, the telltale signs that are in the economy right now to tell us just how bad and how hard it is are truly staggering. And if you have any kind of cash that you have on the side that you can take and invest, especially into this digital asset space, guys, I would say consider yourself to be blessed and big time because a lot of folks don't. And I do believe that we are going to see between now and the end of the year an appreciation in these assets. But guys, I do see a crash coming, a big, big crash in the markets. I mean, you've got the Russell up there at the 4.236 Fibonacci level there. That is right peaked up at the high. And guys, it may go a little bit higher. Maybe they're going to pump it a little bit more. But I do feel that we are going to get a correction and it's going to be a major one. And maybe we see a big pump before that. And that's where you got to be thinking, Johnny, on the spot, I kid you not, about what you're shooting for, what you're aiming for, why you're doing that, and on and on. Now, when it does crash, yeah, it's going to be important to have some dry powder on the side. Take advantage of those, opportunities because when things come down, guys, they do eventually go back up. For every bull market, yes, there is a bear market, but for every bear market, remember this, there is a bull market. That's how markets work. And in this space, of course, the volatility is off the Richter scale. I mean, nobody, and I mean nobody, back at the time, back in 2020, 2021, that had got in like Judy and I did, where we never invested a dime in our lives practically. And, we literally saw things just fly off hundreds, thousands of percent. Get that, thousands of percent. And of course, people were still saying, hey, it's going to go even higher and higher and higher. Well, it didn't. It dropped, it dropped, it dropped. And it dropped something like 80 to 90%. Now, get this. Judy and I, we had fell in at the bottom of the market, but we didn't even know it, guys. We didn't know it. And what happened was Cardano, one of the ones that we got into big time, it shot off to $3.10. Well, when that thing retraced, you know how far it dropped? It dropped right down to 27, 28 cents. Get that. That's like a 90-some% drop. A lot of them did that, guys. And even XRP topped out at $1.97. I think it dropped down as low as like 30-some cents, 38 cents or something like that. But needless to say, those were heavy drops. Well, the volatility is what caused those drops. Now, are we going to see, that volatility diminish? I do believe we will. With the regulatory clarity, with all the institutional adoption, with all the ETFs. And by the way, like I said last night, I'm thinking that, hey, with H-bars coming out, that XRPs could come out in short order. And look, guys, even if they wait until November the 14th, what are we talking, 2 weeks? Come on, that's not a big time deal. It could happen any day, but if we have to wait until the 14th of November, so what? That is not a major length of time considering how long we've been waiting to see things happen in this space. But you think about those kind of drops at that volatility, but in an environment of regulatory clarity, the volatility will diminish. Well, with the volatility diminishing, the risk diminishes, the reward diminishes. The people getting in at those points are not going to see the gains that you and I have seen buying it. Look, back there when it was under 50 cents, or even as it is today at what, 260 something? Guys, I think this is going to be a big deal. And this is where I'm always out telling you, when in doubt, zoom out. It is the broader picture, the big picture, the long-term view that we focus on, because we can see all the ducks standing in a row, guys. They are literally going to flip those switches. Eventually, you watch and see. They will. They are not spending billions upon billions upon billions, if not trillions of dollars in developing an infrastructure for a new financial system that they have no intention of ever using. They're not doing that. They have every intention of using it. They're just keeping the majority of the people in the absolute dark about it. That's what's going on. They're not talking about that on mainstream media. You know when they're going to talk about it? When the whole thing burns down and the same people that lit the fire are the ones that are going to show up with the hose and they're going to say, hey, we've got a solution. Then mainstream media, bang, 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 bang. Everywhere that you can imagine, they're going to be talking about the new digital economy and how it's going to rescue the markets and how it's going to be such a great thing for you, all built on the backs of this distributed ledger technology that you and I have known about for a while now and are investing in. That's when we're going to see things go crazy. And there may be presented to us some major opportunities right before we see it, guys, when that thing comes tumbling down. And you got some dry powder on the side. For Judy and I, I'm going to tell you right now, that will represent opportunity to us. Get out there and look into it and do that research. We could see a pump for sure, but I do believe a correction is going to come. I absolutely do believe that, and I think it's going to spell opportunity. I'm not going to be terrified because I know what's coming down the road. I've looked behind that curtain. My conviction of what I see coming and how they're going to employ it. Guys, we are 100% convinced, but I can share my convictions with you. Like I love to say, cannot give you the confidence that goes with it. You got to get out there, get the answers, do the research. YouTube, I love YouTube. It is absolutely fabulous. But remember, YouTube is confluence. It is not research. And I always encourage you, don't even take my word for it. Get out and research it. If anything, guys, I hope I am motivating you to do just that. That is for sure, right there. Do I believe in what I'm saying? You had better believe I believe in what I'm saying. 100% I believe it. Absolutely for sure. And the reason is because we have gone out there and we've dug the information up and we've seen it for ourselves. And by the way, I was there, man. I was there. I was, not only did I was, drinking the Kool-Aid back in the day, I was the one serving it up, working as an enforcement officer in the underground economy for the tax department for a number of years, guys. I spent 24 years and I had senior level positions and things like that. And I can tell you what I've seen. And look, I've seen the legislation that literally tells where we're going in this kind of thing. And so I'm convinced, 100% convinced. And my bias, of course, had kept me out of it before, but I woke up. Judy and I woke up when all this was going down, and in 13 months it revolutionized our lives. And what the mercy of God to allow that to happen. And guys, that's why we get out and share what we do. That's why I am encouraging you the way that I do. In fact, I've encouraged people, you want to see the motivation, you go watch that very first video that we ever did, and you're going to see why we even started doing this channel and how we put that information out and why we don't have any sponsors on the channel. You're going to find that out in there too. Guys, great things are happening. I'll tell you what, but you got to have your ear to the ground and literally be as wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, because they will play you like a fiddle with the psychology of this market if you are not prepared. That's for sure. So I'll tell you what, until later on today, when we're going to have some amazing information and another fantastic video for you. Guys, have a fabulous one and take care.